This is day 1079, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. As well as Kami Shemar, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please come me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we are doing Yerodea, Simon Tzadik Vav, Sif Ches Tiv Gimel. Moshe Adim Sakin Shechatach Bo Basalin Bo Chalab, Slaylacha of a meat which with you cut meat, a knife which you cut meat in terms of eating with the milk. Kmocha Adim Leon Sakin Shel Isser, so too if it's a treif knife. Shechatach about stone where you cut with the radish or shard of or something else which is sharp and nasa mekne natila that asks k'nei natila. If you cut dak if you cut it very finely, so shishing kula needs 60 corresponding to the whole radish. No, you done the kind of chadil nasis available b'chol Yisrael. But according to us that we hold chanan by all Yisrael, which comes from sim side base. Yever sheish min stone shechatach about b'sakish shel basar. Limits if you cut a radish with a fleshik knife, and stone shechatach about sakish yisrael whether you cut with a treif knife. Shel basar if it's with a fleshik knife, answer yosem b'shishim nekol sakim b'chol. You don't need more than 60 corresponding to the knife, no matter what. Shel isser if it's a treif knife, imi kodem anatila amakam atila yosem k'nei meshcha sakin. If the Kedei Natila ends up to be more than the extent of the blade of the knife, so you need 60 corresponding to Mokam Natila. Even though that's much larger than the blade of the knife, we just said. It's something when you cut it very finely. It's 60 corresponding to all of it. The entire radish comes to Bela. Even if you put a cut in one place, it's only where you need to take off in that place. That nevertheless requires 60 corresponding to the entire radish. Because the entire radish comes in the vela. This is astonishing. More cannot become in the vela. Maybe means when you cook the radish afterwards. It's a dovak, and because it's which clings. But if the radish itself doesn't have 60 corresponding to the place, the it's also not true. The bezel shach is a dovak. It's a dovak is not relevant to this. The makam natila is not an isser intrinsically in and of itself. Besides isser bula, but because it has absorbed isser. Means the isser nikra moved is not a distinct recognizable prohibited substance. Nikra moved is a nikra moved as the heavy shach belamar isser of it that we should say that it's an isser which is clinging. The loke if not kol isser klipa kshenis bashel nitzar shishim negol chadil dvuka makam klipa. Otherwise, we should always require on any klipa, when it's cooked, 60 corresponding to the entire piece, which is clinging to the place of the klipa. But no, since this is not on account of that thing which is clinging, but on account of the klipa, we don't but we don't need that much. If I see already tiny against those who want to say that way. He said it brings the shachantai. I'm not sure. It sounds like they're the misnagdim. Test. Vim yesh shishim nega mokam atila. If there's 60 corresponding mokam atila, or nega kula, or corresponding entire radish, nega mokam asakin, or corresponding the blade. Kfi adim she's bar based on those which you've explained. Yishmin some say the radish and the onions are also mutter. You don't have to remove them from the cooked dish. Even though you cut them with the flesh knife, put them and cook them with milk. They have had a chalei shem isser. They were cut with a treif knife. So you have to remove them. Those who ask the Abmin Shishol Basar, Imets Fleshik, Mimesh Nesakot down, Basar Sibisotog, Devanis Bato, who says all of the isser has been removed from the radish into the cooked dish and nullified. Maybe there's some taste of meat which remains in the radish. Became bitten by the milk. Supreme Court's question. There should be evidence for this question. Somebody who sticks a milchik spoon into a fleshik pot. Even the 60, the spoon is awesome. We don't say all the milk in the spoon was then squeezed into the pot. Here too, here should be the same thing. Omnam ain't a shayla. Says Arukh HaShulchan, no, it's not a question. The vade bitchiva ba'alma yesh l'chu shem no yiskar kulo. We just dunk it in briefly. We certainly should be concerned that not the entire thing was squeezed out. Bishul gomer, but if it's absolutely cooked, vade yiskar kulo, it is completely squeezed out. He says the Chavas writes that way as well. Also from a spoon, there's no evidence to a small food inside pakma. It's not like radish, vapsolim, and onion there, which is in a pot. Even they're not cut into small pieces. Nevertheless, they are very small relative to the entire dish. It's simple to say that everything which is absorbed in them gets squeezed into the into the dish. And there's no suffix in that, which is significant kula, at least it seems to me. Rama writes, some say if you cut radish with a treif knife, kula also the entire radish is also. Cut with a fleshik knife, also kula b'chav. Now it all becomes also in milk. That's the preferred way of dealing with it. But if it's after the fact, it's mixed together, you only ask it the kind of shana. What explains is the opinion that Rash was that by double carve the entire piece is also. Rova poskim ain't so came most poskim not all the way. So therefore, after the fact, you're going to if you put it into a cooked dish, okay, it's anything similar, ain't so shishim. You don't have to reckon 60 rak nega mokam tila, only corresponding to mokam tila. According to halachas which have been explained. But to take the fleshik radish and eat with milk, yesh l'sakulo. That you should ask her altogether. You shouldn't ask. If you cut it with a treif knife, also you shouldn't say everything is also. So it's okay to have it because it's already like a diavad. It's not questionable. We only amati b'diavad in terms that shouldn't answer something else by its isser, which for its entire volume. Such as when you put a cooked dish, it doesn't have 60 corresponding to its entire volume, or only towards the K'dei Natila. Avloni Isser Atzma. But in terms of Isser itself, it could be entirely awesome. And we do Isser. If it's cut with Sakin Shal Isser. Yavadah. You should know, the double charif only is an issue when there's also pressure of the cutting of the knife. Such as a radish which you cut with a knife, or you crushed it with a crusher. That's a special word for it. Yeah, I think it's a more pestle, but whatever. So he crushed it. There's also pressure. You put it in a mixing bowl, and you cut it very, very finely. Besakin eights with a wooden knife, hakmeser, a chopper of some sort. Or you grated it with a grater, rebizing, like we do with horseradish. With tamcha, what the Gemara calls tamcha. Also double carb is an issue by when it's cooked. Because cooking also causes a lot to be emitted. The double carb causes more to be emitted. But that's only when the primary cooking is the double carb. There's a little bit of charif in a cooked dish. Most people in the top, you put pepper into a cooked dish, or talking with the fish, doesn't make the cooked dish a double charif. For Abraham, I've seen case, and Sham. Let me explain. But something sharp, just to put it in. Such as cut a radish, with a kosher knife. And then he put the cut radish into a kli iser, which is also cold. And a klum, it's nothing. Until you put the radish cold. The cut radish in a fleshik pot, a fleshik keli, without eat with milk. The kosher kan ducha, as long as there isn't pressure, or bish or cooking, the charif and acharif are equivalent. But he says the Taz writes this way, and he says, look at me, Megadim. Also, on the other, conversely, the pressure of the knife without a double carve ain't a clue, it's nothing. The inside didn't shar keli, and then the knife is just like any other vessel. If it's not within 24 hours, and it's clean. It's mutter even if initially was boiling and a kli rishon, which is fleshik or milchik, or that's the case may be. Koshkin dugutis like in the mitzone lav klum. Certainly, knife pressure without knife pressure and cold is nothing if it's not a charif. Pirte din sakin is bar v'sim kol chaval b'siyat ishmaya. Says eventually we'll get back to this. Those ask Echav Shalom Adachol Davar Charev Have Eina Ben Yomo. Ben Yomo. How can you say by every Davar Charev that Eina Ben Yomo gets the status of Ben Yomo? Go Korshel Chiltis like the Chiltis crystal the Incan. If that's the case, Echum Chazal. How Chazal said in claim Midian in terms of the vessels they conquered from Midian. Lost the only answers of pot which had been used that day. Yeshkush Gameina Bez Yomo. I have to consider it's used a while ago. Shem Bishlu Badar Khalifin because they cooked sharp stuff in there and aroused the taste again. The issue is who the ones who say the Emes Kolik Din Davar Charv Eino Minatal Midrabon. That's why I say Davar Charv is a rabbinic halacha. Avlo Mashkem Chol Yishar doesn't sound like waving Yishar. Guy made for a cloud also doesn't make sense. Kavan the nosin time bevade Yisur Minator. It's something which gives a taste is definitely also Minator. Masay Kol Nasi Stam Avido Raisa Kmoshis Bar Simon Tzayches is that's our poskim. Most poskim hold that. Tam is the Raisa. Tam Kikar. And then became medium by the vessels they capture medium. It's not concerned with double charif. It's not prevalent that they're going to cook every dish with sharp foods. You put sharp stuff into the food, but you don't cook it. You don't cook the sharp stuff in and of itself. That's not more charif. That's going to be previously. Besides, because of Rajbaz, there are several matters of doubt. Maybe it wasn't used to cook today at all. Maybe they did cook, maybe they didn't cook forbidden stuff. They forgot to cook forbidden stuff. Made they cook stuff which gives an off taste. Oh, and furthermore, maybe they didn't use sharp things at all. Times the and for this reason, we permit, by default, non-Jews vessels. We assume they're not b'nei We're not concerned there might be something sharp involved. You give a haskamas poskim right. The zeshum chazal, that which chazal said in Bnei Chariv said so because of the sharpness of the radish. Bolei arbe absorbs much. Commotion is bar, as we have explained. Love dafka it's known. It's not specifically radish. It didn't shumin. It's true about garlic, salim, and onions, v'tamka, shulin crane, and horseradish. All these things you see clearly. It's known they're sharper even than radish. Everything like that is davar charif. Pears chamutzim, pickled fruits. Majdi Rabbeinu says he based to have a davar charif. This is a davar charif. Tzalmei have to say shechamutzim that they're very sour. The stam peros chamutzim generally fruit that is made sour kitapuchim bagasim like apples and pears, shazifin and apricots, not apricots. Plums, apricots? No, plums. They're plums. Plums, sorry. Plum in the kirsin, I don't know what that is. You can't call them davar charif. Even they're tangy. It's not considered davar charif. You look shemina v'chayim unless you put them in vinegar. The bracket says I touch but that's much because if you call the cheser chin okay, no, we understand that. Look inside. So to pickled vegetables, grekas, like pickles, kroit, sauerkraut, uborekas chamutzim, some of this sour squash. Beets. Sorry. Vegetables. They're not really sharp. But borscht shows in Brusim Misubri Mayim. Borscht should make in Russia from grits with water. Davar charif. It's going to be davar charif. Zehu k'shosim masam michometz harbe k'shum mechutz harbe. So there's a lot of vinegar. Shev shloso chai below your mind, but you can't drink it unadulterated without adding water. The Esav shkoyin shtzave ubarvinitza, whatever those are, those grasses can't get davar charif, not because they'll be sharp. The dye shows it's known under Gilim lefar shom ashkoyin retich. We usually translate it's known as radish. In brackets says here, "V'yaldusi shamati, my youth I heard me'echad agdolim." For one of the glams shekon echad ba'ikil bereto shekbas levana, he allowed with right. He was making with white radish. Omar also klipas or shacharu charif yosef, saying that the black radishes are more charif. In this sense to indicate this. Omar I said haretin. Like then, but it's well, radishes go to itself. Above it, kulam klipas shachar. They are black skin. Umarim, which is bitter, are bay very much. Which is Mamakam Hefseid. I could rely on this that the Mamakam Hefseid, in other words, that the only radish. I thought they were coming red. The only radish which is a problem is black. I assume red also because shachar is adam shaloka, but not white. Okay, I think that's it for today. And if you Gimel, yes it is.